City Council, June the 15th, 2020, 6 o'clock. And let me explain what we'll be doing. One, we may have forgot, it's been tomorrow, make 90 days since we had a traditional finance meeting because of COVID-19, but also to make sure that we're doing everything proper. This is called for all the City Council, so anyone here can have, as we traditionally try to make sure everybody on council knows what's going on as we come into the full council meeting, because it's much better for the taxpayer to know that we know what's going on. But so that we're totally legal on it, everyone on council will be eligible to ask questions because it is part of the City Council meeting. However, only for this part, the vote will only be taken by the 4 members on the committee, which is Connie Thompson, Jim Davis, myself, and Steve Arnold. But each person, if you have questions, information, want to know more information, you can ask that as a council member. So we call the meeting to order. And again, we've got our first item is minutes from March the 16th. Last time we had a traditional or full finance meeting. And so we've got our minutes from March the 16th. You had a chance to look over those. Any questions, corrections, or any items with the minutes from March the 16th of 2020? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented for March 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for March 16th, 2020 for the Finance Committee meeting.
Motion, for a second.
Second it.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. I didn't realize till today how long it had been when we started looking over those notes. You have your invoices, $177,535.56, and this includes our P cards for the previous month. And so we'll start working through these. And again, as we go through them, we'll start first with the 4 members of this committee, but then we'll also extend it to any of you other council members that have a question about any item on this. I'll just highlight a few things. If you've done your homework and went over it, you know that 44,776 is our P cards, which is your day-to-day purchases. 735 is rental returns, where most departments had to return from COVID-19. We have $1,000 to Ogle and Atkins and Ogle. Is that proper way to say Ogle? And that's, so they collected $2,000. We give them their 50% commission. There's the monthly $46,000 to fire pension. There's $5,300 court-related restitution, pass-through, prison costs, West Virginia Crime Fund, police escrow. We got hit with a lot of landfill to catch us up. 27,000 change there, our utilities, and then insurance, which is just eating us alive. For PEIA, dental, vision, life, and retirement was just shy of 51,000. So that's the categories. But we'll start working through one by one. We'll start with Connie Thompson.
Just 2 questions. On 5 of 8, we have $11 for a lien 3 times. And I just want to ask Connie, I know we're putting the liens on, has anyone ever sold it, and do we get anything? Have we ever cashed in a lien?
One there was.
One?
Yeah. That we got money from.
And then
The house was sold and they paid it.
Oh, now, and then how long is a lien? Does a lien last forever? I don't remember.
I don't,
He's shaking his head.
Till property
Till
sold,
sold.
Yeah, until the release.
Okay. I didn't know, I thought, but I didn't know if there was statute of limitations.
Now, if I remember correctly, when they released the lien, they had to pay all the fees associated with the lien, so we would get the $11 and whatever back at that time. Now, if it sells for taxes, the liens are eradicated and we don't get anything.
Okay.
The lien doesn't go with the tax property.
some of those liens had $22 on them. So we have to watch that.
Well, I just noticed one, said for fees to clean up the property, and one said, I think it's all property, and said.
Because municipal fees, we would put $11 for municipal and then $11 for garbage.
Okay.
So
So
22.
eventually, maybe.
and then 22 to get it released, so 44.
Okay. Good answer. Then back on P cards, I don't know what page. I'm under, below Chris Thornhill, this says City of Dunbar card, and it says Keller's Survival, $839.88. I just wonder what it was.
That's reserves,
Okay.
police reserves for uniforms and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you'll cross-reference the P card report to that purchase order log.
Okay.
It'll give you more detail
Okay.
on what it was going to.
Survival equipment.
Well, I kind of wondered,
Secret stuff.
I wondered if you was dealing with stash or what was happening.
Chief Scott's working undercover a lot.
Any other questions, Colin? Okay. I'll come next to Jim Hughes.
That's the benefits I was thinking, liens and stuff and how they work, since it's been answered, the other ones are pretty self-explanatory, so that's all I have. That's all I have.
Steve Martin.
Just a question, looks like we spent $1,100 on mulch, Shawnee. Are we actually using?
It was for the playground,
The playground,
the playground at Shawnee.
which opened today, correct?
It's been kind of open for last, yeah.
We do that every year. We walk it every.
Well, I thought it was shut down, we probably wouldn't do anything.
But we wanted to get it prepared for when it was open so it'll look good, so.
That's the only question I had.
Yeah, we've had, in the past, there's some roots and stuff where there's trees in the playground.
Yep.
And the roots were exposed, and some kids have fallen and so forth, so we wanted to make sure we kept it covered so we wouldn't get any situations going on.
Thank you, Steve. I had the questions that already went over the categories. We'll open up any other council members. Do you have any questions about your invoices or P cards? Again, these are fairly routine, a large amount, but they're fairly routine, normal items. Hearing no other questions about the invoices, do we have a motion from our committee to send these $177,535.56 to full council for payment?
I make a recommendation, we send full council $1,177,535.56.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you all. And for clerk's report, we have our scheduled cash balances along with 2 short budgets. You have your completed May. And if you have any questions, we can ask that to Connie, but she's given us one that's current through late last week, June the 11th, and that'll be the easiest one for us to work from. So we'll start from there and give the clerk a chance to go through anything about the cash balance. Also, you've got your bank balance statements as well. So any of those 3 reports that you want to share about.
Yeah, I want to go through, if you brought your budget with you, that I wrote June 11th one.
So use that
So
one.
we can
Most current.
go through what we're going to do, some internal budget adjustments. And I kind of highlighted, put a little star where we need to make some internal, like council, there's 1595, we're going to have to adjust out of one of the categories, move it to balance it. But we're getting a lot of bills, so
And that begins on page 6.
Yeah, now I'm on page 8. I'm asking in the resolution that to let our accountant balance the internal when it gets more closer to the end of the month. City Hall needs some adjustments. Police Department needs some adjustment on their supply line. Fire Department needs adjustment on the retirement, a little bit more on the retirement, more actually, because we still got, that's a different thing, payroll retirement. Street Department is over a little bit on maintenance and repair. And I know he's gonna be over when he gets another bill that's due on one of the vehicles that we haven't paid yet. Parks and Recreation, there again, it's retirement, that's on payroll. And the Shawnee Pool, we've got to do several internal budget adjustments. And of course, coal severance, we'll adjust all that definitely and balance that too before first of July.
And we'll come back in just a few moments after she's finished with the other reports. We'll actually come to 5A and we'll touch on that. So she has your report there. Any questions for the clerk on the actual short budget? Again, she's highlighted the internal things we need to come to in a moment. And everything is in line after adjustments last meeting to be under 100%. But any questions on the short budget for the clerk from any department heads or any other council members? Again, you've got your May, but the one from June 11th is the most current. And we've also got the cash balances coming.
Yes, there's our, revenue expenses balance, which were, 390,000 to the good there. And then, of course, we got our, cash balance of our city, which is 1,659,000.
And you can, if you've looked at it, you see that May is a low income month, but that is traditional, even separate from COVID. Just because
Yeah.
revenues from taxes go up and down depending on which quarter or which month. Any questions for the clerk? If you looked over that, you see our revenues was only 240, expenses 375, 375,000. Like you said, for the year to date, we are running ahead of schedule at 300, just shy of 391,000. And there has, some people are questioning why there's some things we've put our brakes on when we do have money, but we all, I think every city is going through the same thing. We realize we don't know come July 1 in the first quarter how our revenues are going to be. No one knows because we do not know until the next quarter how COVID-19 shutdowns are going to affect revenue, because everything a city receives traditionally is 3 months lag. And so we're trying to be very careful, department heads and everyone being very careful, because one, we do need a rollover to next year to begin with to balance our budget. About 200 and around 250, I think. Without looking at it, but roughly 250 we need to roll over, and then we don't know what we'll be hit with in that first quarter. Hopefully we're all wrong and the first quarter will be wonderful. But it's like these people that got the stimulus and run to Walmart. No, you don't know what it's going to be the next year. You put that in the bank to make sure. So thank you, Connie, for that. Anything else on that? And then you've got your United Bank statements, or not statements, but the financial report. Anything you want to highlight on that for us?
No, it's really nothing. I just printed that before we come in the meeting. So that's why they're not all of our bank accounts.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to 5A, resolution, and the clerk has already touched on this. It's a resolution of City Council approving an end of the year internal budget adjustment. And as she shared, last meeting we did the major categories, so we've come out right and report to the state. This is just simply juggling internally within departments to make sure everything balances out. Any questions? She highlighted it with red asterisks throughout the short budget. Any questions for the clerk or about how that works? Again, this is not reported to the state because there's no change in the actual totals. It's just switching around internally. But any questions? Steve? Okay. Any other council members? Any questions? Okay. From our committee, do we have a motion to send a resolution to full council to approve end of year internal budget adjustment as the CPA sees fit?
Make a motion, we accept the resolution of City Council approving the year-end internal budget adjustments.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed no. Thank you all. And again, thank you, clerk, and your office for working to get us through all that.
Of course, there's another one here on the finance meeting, but to do ask that we continue paying bills for the rest of the month.
And that'll be at the full council. And for those watching on video, we all know what it means. But we always, every year, authorize at the last meeting when it comes around this time of the month, between now and June 30, that any bills come in, we pay so that we start the year out clean and have everything paid, because this is our last meeting for the fiscal year. So thank you, Connie. Okay, we'll drop down to the next one, B, resolution to authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement for a Division of Justice Community Service grant. And this, we don't know the dollar amount on it yet because it varies from year to year, but this is the grant we try to enter to receive funds for our PRO, which is the Police Resource Officer. Is that correct, Chief? The initials. PRO, which is Lieutenant Rader. Yeah, it does involve money, so we need to authorize his entering that agreement when it comes up. Any questions for the mayor or the Chief of Police?
Like, we didn't have school near the end of the year, and we don't know if we're gonna have school at the beginning of the year. I was guessing that, is he just on the force helping you all out? Or is it, how is that?
Yeah, one school was closed, he was assigned to a shift
And then it's
at
school.
that time, and then school, whatever school looks like in the fall, you know, we'll accommodate it, whether it's 4 days or 5. Or-
I guess that's fine. Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief or the mayor about this whole grant to the PRO officer that we think of as the middle school and that is his primary, but he also touches base every day with Ben Franklin, secondary and primary schools as well, correct?
If he didn't, another officer was.
Intermediate, that's right, intermediate. Sorry.
If he didn't, another officer was. We was visiting all schools at least once a month, a couple times a month before they shut down.
Any other questions? We have a motion to authorize the mayor to enter this agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Services grants.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to enter into the agreement with the Division of Justice Community Service Grant.
Motion, we have a second.
Second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Uh-huh.
Opposed, no. Thank you, and thank you, Councilman Scipio, for correcting me. I called one school the wrong name. Yeah. Item C, this is on our agenda and on full council agenda. It really, two things. Number one, it's not completed. It's about the certification of the Board of Canvassers. They have not completed that yet because this is going to take a long time with this year's vote. And then secondly, it really doesn't involve any finance of the city. So do we have a motion to bypass item C since it's really irrelevant to the finances of the city?
Table, bypass, deleted, what do you want?
It'd probably be best to just go ahead and delete it from the agenda because again, it's not complete. Plus, if it was only waiting on completion, you could table it, but it really has nothing to do with finance.
Okay, I make a motion that we delete item number C, resolution accepting the certification of the Board of Canvassers.
So we have a motion, and that will be on the full council, so it still will be dealt with. It's just not a financial issue. Do we have a second?
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, thank you. We'll drop down to new business. Approval to lift the restrictions on vacations. Again, somewhere around the 1st of April, I forgot the timeline, but we put a restriction on vacation other than that which is approved by department head on account of COVID and quarantines and et cetera, but that's all in the past. So I'll let the mayor share more details and then we can discuss it. And it does involve money because it's payroll and finance. So let the mayor share on that.
Earlier back in March, when COVID started, the governor made a declared an executive order restricting out-of-state travel to all essential personnel, and the city likewise adopted that policy, which applied to all the employees. There's been a lot of grumbling from some of the employees that it's unfair, too restricting. They didn't understand that it was to protect the integrity of the rest of the workforce, to keep them from going hither, thither, and wherever. So, with the governor lifting the restriction on out-of-state travel, and probably needs to be amended based on what's been said in the last 2 days, to non-hotspot areas. So if you're planning on going to some place and it's declared a hotspot before you get there, then you're supposed to turn around and come back. So, I mean, basically it's to lift that restriction so people can get on with their vacations and so forth, to go to hotspot areas as delineated by the governor.
Legally speaking, I think we all agree, I'm just saying this, you may disagree, but I think we realize, okay, it's time to start lifting restrictions. But legally, are we allowed to put that one clause in there about a hotspot? Because I don't know that we have the constitutional authority to determine where somebody goes when they're off work
Well,
as a city.
the governor declares that under his state of emergency.
But that's his baby, not ours. We don't have executive authority like
We follow
Once we followed the executive order of the governor, so once he declares it an executive order to all state residents not to travel to hotspot areas and come back, and if you do, you got to quarantine yourself for 14 days, then yes, we need to follow that same requirement.
I agree, it's not too wise to do that, but I'm not sure if we'd have much legal standing if it was pushed on us, on that.
I mean, you can wait for the push. I mean, we can all argue, what's more important, the integrity of our employees or the will of one person that wants to contaminate the whole workforce?
I got a question. How do you, where do you get the list of hotspots?
The governor determines that.
Okay. And does he put out a list on a weekly
Yes.
basis or monthly
Yes.
basis? And is it like hotspots like nationwide? Like New York City, I hate to use an example.
I mean, face it, 90% of the people in West Virginia are concerned about Myrtle Beach.
And is it a hotspot like that?
Oh, yes, very much so.
I heard that, but I didn't know that was fact.
So,
Okay.
but until the governor declares it as a non-travel hotspot, then it doesn't fall under our restriction.
Any other discussion on that? Because again, I think the only question is about the hotspot thing. But otherwise, I think we all understand it's time to loosen it up. The rest of the world's moving, whether it's wise or unwise, the rest of the world is moving on. Any other questions or discussion? Any department heads have any questions about how to implement it in your departments?
So we'll say Susie decides she's going anyway, and she goes to a hotspot. And then Susie comes back to Bill's force, and it just, so at that point in time, do we require the quarantine
She has to be tested, and
tested?
has to be tested and show that she's
Not,
not contagious.
okay,
And then if she comes back positive, then she'll be 14 days without pay.
okay.
I mean, now if someone goes to someplace and is declared a hotspot when you're there, then, you know, all bets are off. I mean, that's not, somebody didn't purposely go someplace
Right.
that they shouldn't have gone.
So to make it clear for our side, we need to advise our employees though, before they go, to actually know the exact date and all those kind of things before they leave, so that they know. And then, does that mean, I'm just being practical, does that mean that, well, Hugh doesn't have anybody, other Greg, but say for Matt, does he have to keep track of all the hotspots so that he knows when anybody takes vacation, what to do? I'm just being practical.
Pretty easy to do.
Okay.
I mean, you go right to the website, on the governor's website, and if there's anything under travel restrictions, it'll list what the travel restrictions are. It's not
Department heads are all
convoluted or complicated.
understanding that, and just convey that to your employees then as well.
And I totally agree that everybody needs vacation, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I totally agree with what the mayor's saying, you know, the safety of everyone in general needs to be concerned. It needs to be considered.
I mean, if council wants to say COVID-19 is not a problem and lift all restrictions and do whatever, I mean, you know,
I don't want to mind.
ignore the whole thing and just.
From my point, that's not it at all. I know it's a problem in my other occupation where we've been over backwards to abide by all the governor's guidelines and personally, but I'm just bouncing that off. You know, that's what we do here, bounce it off so that we make sure we know what we're getting into on the legal side. Again, this is not personal. I'm not going to a hotspot, you know, but just so we're all clear. If we're all clear with it, that's not a problem.
Bob had a
Go
question.
ahead, Bud.
Are we requiring them when they come back, before they come back to work, to get a COVID-19 test or not?
Only if they've been in a hotspot.
Okay, that's why I'm just making sure, because I only know one employee that I know is going out of town, and that's yours, boy, that's going out of town in July, and I didn't know if he had it.
Yes, I mean, as long as it's not a hotspot, I mean, this, all bets are off.
Okay.
So you all just have to keep track of who's on vacation time and where they're going.
I don't think you can keep track of where they're going, but if you know they're going to a hotspot, they get tested.
That's what I'm saying. That's the sticky wicket legally.
But if you don't know, there's no.
There's privacy issues there as well, but we'll go forward. So we have a motion then from this committee to send to full council a recommendation to lift restrictions on vacations according to the governor's executive order for hotspots.
I make a motion that we make approval to lift restrictions on vacation.
With the hotspot.
With the hotspots that the
Okay.
governor.
So make sure we're clear on that. We have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. So make sure we're all clear. It does have that. We're following the governor's executive order. Everybody clear on that? Thank you. Next item is approval to pay CV Shop Company. You've got, and you can explain this, it's pretty self-explanatory. This is the trucking fee for the contaminated dirt, correct?
Yes.
You see it on your invoice, it's actually handled through Mass Department, and we have to pay the bill though. So we'll come first to the trucking fee. Any questions for Hugh on the $3,000 to haul the trash to the landfill?
Hey, guys. They did a wonderful job cleaning everything up. I mean, they got all the dirt out, smoothed it out, looked better than it did before we started.
Thankful for the price also.
14 grand's kind of pricey for dirt.
Well, I'm talking about the 3,000.
Well, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 3,000 for trucks moving dirt, that's not bad.
Yeah, and they got it out of there quick.
One of the other things is they threw an excavator down on Monday,
So that's a good deal.
very, very, very good.
Oh, we would spend $3,000 just renting an excavator.
Any questions for building inspector on that, or Scott? On the Scott, I was thinking he handled the contract. Did you have anything about it to the dirt?
They did an awesome job. They got it out there. Now we can get it reseeded.
So we have a motion to pay CV Shop Company $3,000 for the removal of the trash. Will come next to the landfill fee, but this is just the transport fee.
I make a motion to approve to pay CV Shop Company $3,000 for removal and haul of the trash to the salt free site.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Again, we are very thankful for that cost and then to get it out there. Then the next one, of course, is the landfill fee. And if you think about it, in our regular invoices, there's already $27,000 in landfill for regular trash. Now another $14,000. There's a lot of money involved in disposing of trash these days, but you've got $14,460.80. So any questions again for either Hugh or Scott about the landfill fees? Again, it was really routed through the sewer department, but we paid the bill. The questions, we have a motion then to send that to full council for approval as well.
I make a motion that we pay Charles Plainfield $14,460.80. Disposal fees and garbage dirt for the salt pit.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. And we'll move to the last two that will have a little more discussion time. We have approval of repairs to the Wine Cellar Park caretaker's house at the June 1 meeting. Clerk, remind me, I'm sure we approved up to $4,000. Is that correct to start on that project? At the June 1 meeting. Okay, so they've got $4,000 to start. You've got in your packet, from Parks and Rec, you've got several items there on the graph, or excuse me, on the spreadsheet, and then you've also got 3 bids for the HVAC system, and that's the big part on it. So we'll allow discussion to make sure everybody knows where we're coming from. This is the house at Wine Cellar Park. It's been about, 20, 25 years since any improvements made?
Yeah, well, measure, but I know when Connie and I were down there together, we made some improvements to it. But
So it's time, and much of this will be done either in-house or the tenant is moving in, correct, the labor.
yeah, he's doing most of it right now.
So most of what you see on there is material, except for the HVAC.
HVAC and the flooring is the only thing we may have to contract out.
So we'll just open it for discussion between Bob and of course Jim's the chair of Parks and Recs. And there's 3 bids for the HVAC. One question, and we'll totally open it up, but I had a question. About 2 bids were for 2-ton units and systems, and 1 was for a 3-ton.
And that surprised me because that person told me it'd probably be a 2 to 2.5 ton, and they put 3 on there.
So no explanation, just they gauged it. 3.
Yeah.
If you do know anything why they did a 3 and the others 2?
No, because I talked to the 2 of them and we all agreed 2 ton would be sufficient for it.
So I just want to compare apples to apples. Okay. Well,
3 would work, but it's a little bit overkill, so it's gonna work less.
So we'll open any questions for Jim, anything, you're the chair of that committee, anything to share with us?
Another thing I don't think we have, I know, that, of course, $10,900 for HVAC is the least expensive. We do need to prove that, but I know we don't have a final on the cabinets or anything like that.
Yeah, it should be on that spreadsheet. I had that on the spreadsheet.
That's the $5,031 additional.
Well, I just broke it down by each one. I didn't put everything down, but 2,000 of miscellaneous supplies I did put in there is because once he started tearing out the carpet and everything like that, the subfloors were really damaged. So he's having to go in there and put down new plywood down there. But yeah, I got the cabinets right here. I didn't total them up. I just gave him the price per each one and how many we need.
You're looking at $1,001.60 with the countertop included in the cabinets.
And I have started doing that, like putting it into doing it online through Lowe's.com, and somehow it's coming out cheaper than in the in-store. So what I may end up doing is doing it all online so we can get a bigger discount.
So you've got your spreadsheets, you've got your bids, you know, and you can hash it out and say, do we want to approve all of this with the lowest HVAC bid, or do we want to be part of it and hold back on others? So let's just start the discussion. Because again, we've approved 4, but there's a request for more that would total almost 20,000. So we need to have a real discussion on what we want to do.
I mean, at HVAC, I mean, is that something we want to take back to the committee to decide on, or it's up to y'all? I mean, I think it's a little high myself, but that's just me because I'm not tightwad.
For the whole set system?
Yeah.
That's not, 10.9 is not high.
I mean, I know.
It may be more than we want to spend.
Yeah.
But it's not actually units, I don't think.
I don't think it is. And you're looking at baseboard heat in that house, and you're looking at window air conditioners, and both of those are energy hogs. Baseboard heat, in my opinion, is completely worthless in this region.
We pay the electric, correct?
We pay everything but long distance bill, not the economy. So yeah, so you're looking extreme in the winter and extreme in the summer. You get central air, that house is probably what, 900 square feet. The energy bill should go way down with new central heat and air.
So that's something to take into consideration. Yes, it's 10.9, it's the best price up front, but they don't save us utilities for the next 10 years compared to baseball. It is.
But I think we need your spreadsheet, I don't think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just for everybody,
Oh, it's in your,
for everybody watching on YouTube, if you.
That's an updraft system with all new main duct, venting, 2 returns, and the furnace, the air conditioning, and cooling. So that's, in my opinion, it's very important.
So for those who haven't seen these, of course, one bid was $12,722.33. The bid we keep talking about was 10,900, and there was another bid for $11,202.50. The 10.9 and 11.2 were for 2-ton units, heat pumps. As Hugh mentioned, the whole, ductwork, everything from scratch. And the 12,722 was the same thing, except it was a 3-ton heat pump unit instead of 2. So that's all the differences. And that's all in the package, that info. We'll start then to Linda. Any questions on it? What's your feel about whether to do the whole HVAC or to stick with baseboard and window units?
The long run, I would do it,
Anything else? Great.
No, I agree, HVAC.
And we'll just go around, everybody has the ability to speak nicely, plus you're on the committee.
I agree.
And then what about, again, let's look, and I think your total of $19,978.65 for everything above presented that was estimating the HVAC at 13,000. So
Yeah.
if you take 19,978 and then take off 2,100, so you're about $17,878.65. Then we've already approved 4,000, so that puts you at $13,878.65 is the balance for us. So we'll just start down with your input. Do we want to go with the whole thing or piece it out? Connie, there is money directed to it.
Like $14,000.
Well, they put money in there for the rec department, air conditioning. There,
Your input?
that takes that away.
You got, I'm sorry, your input, because we can decide things, but you bear the brunt one or the other. So
Oh, I just think we just keep going with it, get it done, instead of monkeying around with it. You can get somebody in there as soon as you can, or hold the maintenance, so people start doing other things. Now, other parts, we can nickel and dime it and squeeze it all we want, drag it out, but that's not getting the work done up there. So I say, I think it's really important.
I think we need to spend $14,000 and it's all done by professional people. And it's gonna get it all wrapped up. So it's a total remodel, and that's what we're doing.
That's the input. So I think everybody's in agreement, we go forward.
I do have one thing. It'd be better to have 2 returns in that house, since it's stretched out so long.
Oh, he's putting 2 in.
You only quoted 1.
He told me, I talked to him on the phone, he told me 2.
Wanna check
John.
your mechanic?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I want.
We've used him before. He saved us how many thousands of dollars at the rec center?
Yeah, found a $200 leak, which
We use
somebody wanted to pull the whole unit out.
I mean, he's a good, honest kid. I mean,
I was just questioning if there's enough return, because he only quoted 1, but you said he told you 2.
We'll make sure there's 2.
I think what we need to do, we feel a consensus, as the mayor said, to get it done, move forward. And this house has been years without much help. However, as far as the motions, we probably need to do one motion for the bid for the HVAC. So that we have it clear. Because if we just do a motion for the total amount, then you're still squirming around, okay, who do we actually approve for the bid? So we need to do one motion for the bid of the HVAC, then we can do a second motion to appropriate the money for the rest of the materials to finish this out. So that there's no ethical questions about, okay, did we really pick that vendor or not? So, so the lowest bid, and the one we talked about and we've reviewed, is for JP Mechanical for $10,900. So we want to start with that, do a motion.
I'll make a motion that we spend $10,900 on JT Mechanical. Just all new HVAC unit out there, one solar park, caretaker's house.
So we have a motion to approve the bid for JP Mechanical 10-9. We have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Okay, so we have that clear. And then if you, company clerk, make sure my math is right, it'll be, and so we've approved that amount, so we've already approved 4,000 before on that, so it would leave about 3,000 roughly. We want to go with a round number of 3,000 to allow some flexibility. Because again, Bob has no big budget. You have these, and this could change $1 or $2 either way on the numbers.
Well, some of these, like, some of them I put up a couple dollars, just to, like on the doors and stuff, like I just went ahead and rounded it up. So, like I say, like the cabinets seem like they're online, they're coming in cheaper than what they are in store. And you can see, I don't know if y'all got the right spreadsheet, you can see where I already made 2 purchases at Lowe's.
We're also saving big amount of money with the council moving in and installing all the stuff for free. I mean, he's paying,
Like I said,
they're doing the paint and stuff, so it's a good deal.
The only thing he's running into problems with, like I said, is the subfloor and some of the painting where that stuff is just sucking that paint on the walls. And that's the same thing, problem me and Connie had years ago, and we was painting forever trying to get that paint to look good.
So we approved 4,000 at the last meeting, we approved just
Okay.
HVAC. And that would leave
We did.
approximately 3,000, 2,900 and change. So we have a motion just to go allow another $3,000 for the items and repairs.
I make a motion that we allow the rec department to spend $3,000 additional dollars to cover all costs for the total repair of the house supply store.
I second
Motion and second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Thank you all, and for anybody, citizen watching again, that would come under, just under 18,000 for a major remodel of a house. That's a pretty good deal for your tax money. Yeah, considering this thing needed a lot of help. We had no duct work, nothing else. Any other business finance related to the city? Mayor or clerk? Mayor. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll come back to sprinkles. Yeah.
All right,
I got spinning marks on my paper, I missed that, thank you. E, approval to purchase equipment for portable kids sprinkle zone. You've got your kit there as well. And we'll let the mayor, because he's done most of the work and research on this. At least that's my understanding, so we'll let the mayor explain. And this is an alternative to Shawnee Pool for COVID-19.
I mean, you all know I've been promoting doing some type of affordable sprinkle thing all year long. And we were thinking about building one, and then I just think that it's got to be out there. Why reinvent the wheel? So went out and looked, and this company, if you have the information for it, does have the equipment that is affordable. It's attractive. It's really intended for this purpose for kids. So, Catherine has talked to the vendor, and Doug volunteered to drive the box truck out and pick it up. And we can pick it up in Cincinnati. And they have everything in stock. So we can have it. Whatever he go work. Bernie has got to move the water company, and they have agreed that they will furnish us a hydrant, water meter for a hydrant. And they will also fabricate something to go on the end of the hydrant that will have multiple outlets, so that we'll be able to get full volume and full pressure off the hydrant. And we'll have a valve right at the meter where we're trying to pack it with it. Block valve. It'll have up to 4 hoses. We'll probably have to invest in 2 gas stands to support this thing. Like everything.
Are looking at, are you recommending to meet our goals to get all 5 items? But I mean, that's what I assumed, but I wasn't sure, because you mentioned 2 splash pads and then 1 lollipop, 1 fire hydrant, 1 LP.
I think what that would do is that would allow us to spread them out more in the area where you don't have kids all clustered around. Obviously, you're going to be clustered around the other. But you know, it'll encourage you to kind of spread out and get with whatever you think you're trying to spread them out as much as possible. I did include, I put a letter I sent to the health department.
Yes,
Catherine did call back yesterday. Yes, it's in there. She did call back and they said, well, we're going to have to do an environmental study. And she checked back again today. And really what their environmental study They just wanted somebody internally to look at it. Because, I guess they really read the letter that supposed to be that we weren't going to be recycling water. It was going to be one-time use water from the fire hydrant and out on the ground, in the street, in the drain. So they said that was fine, and they made some recommendations to make sure that we will put in areas where we can gravel it, muddy, swampy, and kids just go through. Our intention was to put it on pavement where we can put it in the street or the parking lot. Where we can go close to the line.
Any questions for the mayor? Sounds like an excellent plan for the kids. Any questions?
Plus, we got the soap setting machine too, so all this together is gonna work out very well.
Tommy, does this meet your splash park?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry.
Now it's a portable
Is it
splash
a
park.
big kids? Little kids.
I guess we should do that.
Yeah.
The other beauty to this equipment is that when we get the reunion shelter, finished up, we have the area where the kiddie pool was. It's already got the drain established. So we could set it up there for major events and stuff. Be available for that time.
If you didn't read the letter, or those watching on YouTube as well, but the mayor, his letter to the Department of Health states, the use of a public water supply eliminates the need for filtering and disinfection of recirculated water. So with COVID, it's a non-issue. It shoots the water out of the fire hydrant. So each kid is touched. It's their first time to get touched with that water, and it goes right to the grounds.
Yeah, the only thing we'll have to do is, obviously, we'll have to have someone monitoring. Love for the fire department to come down.
It's got a fire hydrant or anything.
And be on site to,
We'll gladly,
take care of bruises and nicks
we'll
and.
gladly take part of it.
And that was one of the water company's other concerns, that they wanted to make sure that there was somebody that was proficient or authorized to attach to their hydrants. The sanitary board people have passed their testing with the fire department. So it's got to be one of the two people that they're comfortable with letting us borrow the meter.
So you've got your info. It would be 2 splash pads, 1 lollipop, 1 fire hydrant, and 1 alligator. You see the total is $7,020 even because of, so we get your council question going around there. Good.
You need a police car on there too, you got a fire hydrant.
They didn't have a police option, but we can put,
They're always at work.
flashing lights on the lollipop.
Any other questions? Any council member for Linda?
What, do you know, have you established hours for when those are set up and how long for each day or?
We'll get with excuse me, we'll get with set up a schedule. And probably, I'm thinking like a 2-hour thing with that location would be probably adequate. And we have to get people taken down and unloaded, and we have somebody that's working part-time with the rec center that's working the pool, that's an excellent worker that we can put out there to monitor the activity while it's going on. Once it's unloaded and stuff, she can monitor, we can put posters up advising parents and spectators to stay 6 feet apart when they're out there with kids.
That way they won't get too waterlogged for the kids.
We've had discussion, so we're ready. We have a motion to send the full council this purchase totaling $7,020 for the portable kids splash.
I make a motion, we spend $7,020 for the portable kids zone spring park.
We have a motion. Tommy, you have to second this.
I second.
This is your splash
I
day.
second, I'm so sorry.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Thank you. Now, any other finance, business related to the city of Dunbar?
I have made a egregious error. The sanitary board budget, I did not put it on the agenda. We put it on the agenda right now, it just jumped right out of my brain. But we need to put that on the agenda to accept their budget. It's $2,807,000 for this year. It's a $37,000 increase. It's no $54,000.
30,500.
Increase over last year. And that increase is the 2% rate increase. In the written part, but I just didn't attach anything to it. And I have the budget here, and I'll make copies and give it to all of you.
So we'll need to do two things. We'll need to first have a motion to add as an emergency item, because this is our last meeting, and it does need to be approved by us. Their sewer sanitary board sets the budget, but we do have to be involved in it. And then after we do that, then we can actually, as the mayor mentioned, the amounts and go forward with approval of that. So, and it's our last meeting, it needs to be done. It's just an oversight. It is the sewer and sanitation department budget. We have a motion to add emergency item to the agenda.
I'll make a motion to make an emergency addition to the agenda to cover the budget for the sanitary department.
A second.
So we have a motion and a second to add emergency item to the agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Now, as the mayor mentioned, Matt's here as well. Help $2,807,000. Is that even?
Yeah, 2,807,500.
And with the rate increase, and again, the rate increase has to be balanced out on the budget, so that increases to 30,500 even.
I'm sorry.
It's 30,500 even.
30,500, yes. And with the 2% increase, that's a $54,000 increase.
So you're actually,
We're covering.
any questions for the mayor? Because he's very involved as the chair of that board, or with Matt Dawson. Any questions about the sanitary budget?
I'm happy. Catherine.
No copies. Any question for the mayor or Matt Dawson?
This budget is for year 2020.
Yes.
Yes.
Beginning July. And if you attend their meetings, they do very well to keep everything on track. And, in the black now financially. Anything else you highlight, Mayor, on that? Because I know they've done well trying to get things turned around.
And they've been like the other departments, they've been doing extremely well, holding costs down. They have undergone quite a bit of issues with non-paying bills during COVID-19. The Service Commission issued a recommendation saying they recommended the sanitary board that water companies not disconnect during this period, but it was not awarded. Consequently, it was about $240,000 in arrears for the past 90 days. So it's after doing state action, started letting out revenues. City also you can see here right now. the rate for people to pay it to, they are paid.
So you've got this, again, the way this works is, say, West Virginia, the sanitary board, they set their budget, they have the full control over it. We are just given a copy to show that we reviewed it, our approval. We really don't have the authority to edit it. It's just approve or disapprove. And again, you've heard the numbers from the mayor and from Matt Dawson. Any final questions before we call for a motion so we can?
I would motion to accept it. That's what we've done in the past, just to accept the budget. Approve it.
Okay. So we use the word accept since we don't have the authority to make adjustments anyhow. We have a motion to accept the sanitary board's budget for 2020 to 2021.
I make a motion to accept the sanitary board budget for the year 2020 to 2021.
We have a second.
A second.
Any other discussion? In favor say aye. Opposed, no. Okay. We're down to our last, have a moment to finish this meeting and get transition to the full council meeting. Any final finance business for the city of Dunbar?
I do.
Go ahead, Jim.
This doesn't cover the other financial too. I'm gonna get an update on what's going on with Taco Bell. Everybody wants to know.
You want to wait till full council or do it now?
Huh?
You want to wait till full council or have it now?
You're now, you're whenever.
The answer is, some of the contractors are coming in and getting permits. The general permit has not been drawn yet. The general contractor, the structure, I guess, the excavating contractors come in, some of the subcontractors, probably within the next 30 to 45 days.
Unless they put me in there.
They were digging today.
Yeah, it's Bob's dump truck service for a local company. They got the excavation bid, did site work. And, the plumbing contractor got his permit and the sign contractor has got their. But other than that, we have an issue. Exciting.
Progress.
Taco Bell. It's a roughly $880,000 project.
Here no other business. We have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Thank you.